Let's shift the gear a little bit. I think yeah, like definitely want to talk about other kind of like aspects as well. You run Revello, is that right?
Yeah, it's Revello Intel. Revello is
Revello, Revello.
The Latin word for reveal. In hindsight, probably not the best name. Even I find myself not pronouncing it correctly every now and again. But nonetheless, here we are. Yeah, so Revello Intel is it's you know I've tried to find ways to make to gain edge in the crypto markets, and there's so much information available. Information is very fragmented
Yeah,
in crypto. It is incomplete. It is unreliable, and it's all over the place. Even if you're just following a project, you need to be in their Discord. You need to read the Medium articles. You need to read their docs. You need to listen to whenever the founder goes on a podcast or in a space. So it's kind of very fragmented and difficult to keep up with, even on a
I totally agree.
project level. So if you're following 20 projects or 30 projects or 50 projects, good luck. So one of the things that I started doing was I'd pay people to follow projects that I was interested in because I didn't have time to do it. And if each project does, one town hall or one AMA every week, or, one podcast every week, and you're trying to know 20, 30, 40 names very intimately, you've got 20, 30, or 40 hours of AMAs to listen to every week. Couldn't do it.
Which is insane. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you could do it, that would be an advantage because now you know 20, 30, or 40 names very intimately in real time,
Mm,
and that expands the universe of opportunity available to you in terms of situations that you can react to. So I started paying people to follow projects and go to all of these events whenever they open their mouth and summarize them for me. These are crypto native people, they understand the subject matter, and then they give me these notes. So instead of me watching or listening to an hour AMA, which is, for the most part, they're very low value, there's a lot of conversation in there, but there is important information. But I could read 5 minutes of text instead of listening to 1 hour of audio. So in an hour, I could literally consume 10 or 12 AMAs just by reading the text. And the idea
right,
was that
right.
whether I listen to the AMA or read the text, I should get 90 to 95% of the information out of the text. So it needs to be very high level. So that really helped me. So the first product that Revello Intel is going to launch is that, but at scale, where we're going to be covering over 100 projects when it launches in a few weeks. And we're going to have them all on a platform with tools that helps people. You can follow certain projects, you can follow people, you can follow organizations,
Interesting. Okay, okay.
and we'll be covering projects, podcasts, all the different foundations, all the different chains, so that you can go in there and pick the 10, 12, 20 projects that you want to follow, or shows. Maybe you want to follow Bankless, or maybe you want to follow Vitalik. Whenever Vitalik talks, you want to know what he said. Maybe you want to follow the Phantom Foundation. Maybe you want to follow Coin Center if you're interested in regulatory issues. Maybe you want to follow an idea like oracles, and you just want to see everything that happens in the oracle space that week. So
Mm.
having that platform and having it all in one place is something that I thought would be extremely valuable to me. So I
And
decided
it
to go
is,
build it.
yeah. Especially
Yeah,
during the bull market, right? When there's information overload, every hour.
yeah, and it'll be cheap. It'll be between $20 and $30 a month, depending on what plan people choose, and it'll be reliable. If we say we're going to follow or cover a particular project or a particular entity in crypto, then whenever they talk, we'll be there, and within 6 to 24 hours, the summary will be live on our site. So you don't need to, because I would keep calendars for each project, and I'd put all these
Yeah,
different
we do
events,
as well. We do as
and,
well. Yeah, yeah.
and it was a nightmare. Like it was a complete nightmare for me to do it that way. So that's the first product that'll be involved on Revello Intel. And the important thing is it's all in one place and it's at scale, and it's got no bias. Right? We're not giving analysis. We're not giving opinion. We're distilling the information that the project is telling us into consumable pieces of content. So,
Right.
and coverage will have nothing to do with what I think or anyone else thinks. Chain agnostic, project agnostic, just giving the facts. You can do your own research after that. Our job is to kind of give you that information so you can consume it faster. So that's number one. Number two is what we call project breakdowns. And the notes are very helpful for following projects you're already familiar with. Like if I give you a summary of an AMA of a project you've never heard of, and you read it, it's not very helpful to you because you can't understand the subject matter. So notes is very good for things you're familiar with. But then what about projects you're not familiar with? Like if you just tell me, hey, Nick, I'd like you to check out this project that I've been researching. And I'm like, okay, cool, but I've never heard of the project. Now you put me in a tough spot because, we're friends and I'd like to have the debate, but I'm in a tough spot because I need to go spend 6 hours to read the docs, read all the Medium articles, jump into the Discord, read all the announcements, watch a few videos, watch a few AMAs, and that takes me 6 hours to do properly. And I don't have 6 hours to do that every single time someone asks me to look at a project. So I wanted to come up with a way of reducing the time that it takes for us to have that interaction. So we're launching project breakdowns, which is a deep dive into a project where we do everything I just said. We read the docs, we read all the Medium articles, we watch all the AMAs, we listen to all the podcasts, we go through the announcements channel of the Discord and we read every single announcement, and we do all of that work and we create a very long report between 30 and 50 pages that includes all of that information explained with our own flowcharts. And we kind of make it so that, that if you read this report, you don't need to read the docs. You don't need to read their announcements. You don't need to watch an AMA or anything like that. So if you spent 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour consuming that report, then you and I can have an intelligent conversation about that project. And it's just reduced the time that it takes from 6 hours to do properly down to 1 because we've done the work for you. And again, there's no analysis, there's no opinion. We're not telling you whether you should buy it or sell it. We're answering questions like, well, what do we know about the team? What is the project? Is it a DEX? Is it a money market? How do they make money? How does value flow through that system? And we show that using flowcharts. What are the tokenomics? What are the emissions? What does the competitive landscape look like? So it's a proper research report where we fill in the gaps, we aggregate the information that exists, and we fill in the gaps because there's a lot of gaps. You read some of the docs of these projects, and it's a mixture of, look at how smart I am, because I want to use as many complicated technical words as possible so no one understands what I'm talking about, and a mix of PR fluff, right? But that's not what docs should be. Docs should be something extremely useful with no PR fluff, as easy as understand.